Good morning, Florida lacrosse fans. Tuesday morning, September 20th. Florida Lacrosse News' Lee Roggenberg. Welcome to the show. Let's have our sip first. Okay, let's remember, subscribe to the channel. Encourage others to do so. Like the video, please. Reach out to us for advertising and marketing opportunities. And the commitments keep coming in. PLL final was on Sunday. Exciting news down here for another Division II program. And a couple of other nice stories. Let's start with some of the commitments that I was able to find. And what I tend to do is I look at Inside Lacrosse's database. I check the Twitter feeds. Tampa Lax Report tends to catch all the ones that are on their area. But if you know and you want to let us know, please do so. If you're on Twitter, you can just tag us in the tweet. And if not, you can always send them in to lee@floridalacrossenews.com. Anyone who doesn't commit, we certainly appreciate the commitment articles. If you would be so kind to do so, go to the home page. At the top, you'll see Submit a Commitment. Click it on, fill it out, upload a picture or two, please, in your high school uniform or plain clothes, not the club. Although if it's the college announcement, that's fine too. So one of the big ones, Lake Island Preps 2024, Izzy Hughes committed to Vanderbilt. Congratulations to that. We've got a couple that Tampa Lax Report reported. River Ridge 2023 goalie Ariana Robinson is committed to Weber. Mitchell 2023 goalie Caroline Johnson has committed to Division II at Belmont Abbey. These four from Inside Lacrosse. Creekside's 2024 Natalie Charyak has committed to Kennesaw State. Creekside's 2024, put that down twice. Ponte Vedra's 2024 Lily Mosser to USF. Lake Mary's 2024 Charlie Nyquist to USC. I suspect that there's one that should have fit in that second Creekside one. I'll make sure to go back and double check and mention it on Thursday if I did miss that one. Congratulations to all of you, all on the girls' side. One of the interesting things when I looked at the Inside Lacrosse database on the 2024 on the boys, it's really not shown any movement for a week at least. Kobe White, who we had mentioned before, Noah Prissert, really basically the only two that are on the database that have committed anywhere. So if that's just not being updated or if you know about other commitments, doesn't matter whether it's Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. Also happy if you're committing to a club program. Let us know. Okay, some really big news that broke yesterday late. Nova Southeastern has announced that they'll be starting their men's and women's lacrosse programs. I've been kind of keeping my fingers crossed. I've been hearing about it for a couple of years, and finally it's come true. We'll see who they hire on their coaching staffs. Nova has a nice facility that they can use. And in a pinch, they could have used the high school stadium, which is one of my favorites down here. But they're definitely going to make a big push. They're a member of the Sunshine State Conference and other sports, so I would assume they're going to slot right in there. That should bring the number of teams up to 9 on both the men's and women's side, and that's just, again, a terrific thing. And once again, we see the spread of the sport in this state, and we'll be very interested to see how the program goes from here. Cardinal Mooney. I had actually gotten a copy of this about a week and a half ago, and was asked to hold off until it was finalized. This is a wonderful schedule. I'm just going to quickly go through it. February 13th, they're starting at home with Sarasota High. Then on the 15th, they're going to Bowles. Actually, they're going to Lake Howell to play Bowles. And that's great. I really hope that one of the ways we see more of these interregional games is that if teams in the Orlando area could maybe host, or even on the Treasure Coast, could maybe host schools as part of a doubleheader of the home team. And that's what this looks like, I'm assuming. Lake Cal, I think Coach Yad is still there. It's great to see, great to keep doing. Let's see more of these. I'd love to see high-end doubleheaders in central locations so the kids can get out and see them. A couple of days later, go to Berkeley Prep, and then they host Plant. They host Winter Park, go to Canterbury, host Mitchell. They go to Ponte Vedra and Nice back-to-back. At Lake Highland, hosting Lake Mary, hosting Community School in Naples, hosting Jesuit, hosting Gulf Coast, hosting Osceola, hosting Riverview, and hosting Springboro of Ohio. So if I'm counting this right, only 6 games away out of the 17. So Cardinal Mooney really scheduling. I know that they were up and coming last year, relatively young. They've gotten mature. They're physically maturing. And I can't wait to see how well they do against this type of schedule. And congrats to Coach Wagner for going ahead and doing this. And good luck to them. And hopefully, if you've got your schedules finished, I'm not sure what the target date is on starting to upload to Max Preps. I'll take a look at that today and see if schools have started to upload schedules. But I can tell you that I'm certainly looking forward to following this season. And, let's keep up the good work and schedule these tough games. Okay. I found a tweet. Just want to say it because it's an interesting thing and it's very good for the community to know. Relaxcollections.org collects new and used equipment for redistribution. And it kind of triggers my memory about South Florida Youth Lacrosse Foundation down here. Takes contributions, helps spread them around. I'm sure that around the state there are plenty of nonprofits that are existing that can do the same thing. If that equipment's just sitting there in the garage, it's not being used because your child has moved on to college and maybe has given up the sport, instead of just letting it sit there or putting it up on eBay or whatever, check first to see if you have a local group that will accept it, a youth program that needs the equipment, maybe in a lesser advantaged area. And that would just adds again to the ability to help spread the sport amongst groups that maybe haven't necessarily participated as much yet. Caroline Byrd, American Heritage Delray, 2024. Inside Lacrosse named her as a 5-star recruit. Congratulations to you, Carolyn. It's it's nice to always see. I think we had on the girls' side, Taylor LaPointe in 2023, I think is the only listed 5-star in the state by Inside Lacrosse. Now, obviously, part of that is you have to go through their rating system, and not everyone gets a chance to do that. But still, it's quite an honor when you recognize this 5-star. So congrats to you, Carolyn, and we'll see where you end up committing. PLL final. Thank God I don't have to whine about a team with a losing record winning a championship. Water Dogs with the 11-9 win over Chaos. I didn't get a chance to catch it live. I watched it on replay Sunday night. Congratulations to Coach Copeland, Andy Copeland, for winning his championship there, and congrats also to Coach Towers, who's a follower of the Plant program and getting as far as he did in the playoffs. Congratulations to you. Kieran McCardle, 2 goals, 2 assists in the win. I found at least 6 players that I could tie to Florida in the game, not including Max Adler, who, although family is down here, obviously played his high school outside of the state, but also has had a very nice run whenever he's played in professional as a Fogo. Kieran, Liam Burns, Ben Randall, Ben Randall, and Jared Newman all played for the launch in the past. Dylan Ward and Mikey Schlosser, I got to know a little bit from their clinics that they were part of down here in the Boca area. So all 6 of them. I'm sure there's probably a couple of others that I didn't see. But, again, good to see the local connections to this. Chaos led 4-2 after 1. It was tied at 5 at the half. Water Dogs took the 9-8 lead in the third, and then outscored them 2-1 to win the game 11-9. I think that when watching the game, Chaos jumped out early, got out to a 3-0 lead very early. And I think that what happened, at least to me, it appeared that Chaos's players wore down a little bit as the game went on. I think that the announcers were making a point that some of their offensive players were getting caught on defense a little bit more and got a little worn down there. I think that Water Dogs basically found a way to get some shots that Chaos was not necessarily giving up in the first couple of playoff games. Blaze Reardon's save percentages were very high, but I don't think in the second half it was quite as good. And I think what was happening was they were getting a little bit closer to the goal than what the previous 2 playoff teams were doing. And I think that made the difference in the end. And Dylan Ward, it looked to me that Dylan Ward was getting a little bit into the heads of the shooters. Those who kind of have watched and followed know that Blaze plays the goal almost like a hockey goalie, and Dylan tends to come out and cut down the angle. They've been hearing the term at the arc, above the arc, and you can clearly see there were times when Dylan would be 5 yards in front of the goal. And that's also something that's kind of from hockey. But Blaze is kind of a sturdy, round, wider presence in goal. And Dylan's kind of tall and relatively thin. So each of them have kind of developed their styles to fit that particular body type of theirs. And they're both very effective at it. But I just think that Dylan ended up playing the second half, outplaying Blaze in the second half. And part of that was just shot location and where Water Dogs was able to get to. But it was a very, a little sloppy in the first half, but it was a very high intensity game. I didn't see the attendance numbers announced. The stadium is 18.5 fully fit according to Wikipedia. And I suspect that there was probably about 10,000 there, which, again, for the league at this time of year, obviously against football. Even though Philadelphia's football team, the Eagles, didn't play until Monday night, you're still getting 10,000 in the stands against football was pretty good. And let's hope that keep growing the attendance. And let's hope next year, PLL, if you're listening, we have a state down here that's got an awful lot of lacrosse fans. Please see if you can make one of those weekend sojourns down here. We've got plenty of places that are more than happy to host and more than happy to come out and support it. So if you're listening, please do so. Congratulations on the season ending. As I've said before, I hope you spend a couple of minutes thinking about maybe a playoff format change next year. Because even though Chaos got to the finals, I still think there would have been some questions in the mainstream media over why a 2-8 team should have gotten that far. Okay. Those of you might have noticed I posted a link to a helicopter parents article in the New York Post. It is a real thing. Parents, please. on the youth sidelines, just cheer. When your kid comes over, pat him on the back, say, great game, great job. Don't worry so much if you don't win the championship that weekend. Don't worry so much if your kid has lost a game. Please keep it fun. It's got to be fun early, or the kid is not going to continue to play. And I understand. A lot of money. You're spending a lot of money. Look at it as spending money on having your kid be happy instead of whether they bring a medal home. Okay? Just keep that in mind and we'll be fine going forward. Okay? Sip. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter, Florida LX. Website, FloridaLacrosseNews.com. Facebook, FLA, LAX, NEWS. And never forget, grow the game, respect the game, honor the game. This is Lee Roggenberg, Florida Lacrosse News, saying we'll see you on Thursday morning at 8:30, and so long from the Sunshine State.